we will see the application of this course. Okay, so application of this course is basically construction execution plan, time plan, a field, or we can see field schedule. Construction execution plan, I hope you would have understand execution of the activities in a proper manner way, which activity we should execute first and then which activity we should execute later in order to execute within a less time or optimize cost. Okay, time plan, we need to do the planning at what time we should execute the project. It's not like whenever we have time we can execute the productivity. Sometimes it depends upon the environmental condition. For example, there is a rainy season or there is a dry season, so we need to add more water. Or suppose it's rainy season, so we cannot do earthwork because earth will not sustain water. Okay, so it will like liquefy itself. So we will see the seasonal variation at that particular location, and then field scheduling we need to be done. We need to do financial planning as well, that is money plan, construction budget and cash flow part. Both part will be introduced. Construction budget, basically the amount of the project that has been initiated in order to complete the project, and that budget need to be delivered by completion of each and every activity having the cash flow. Okay, for separate activity we need a separate type of a cash flow. And the resourcing plan, the resource plan, basically I have described it to you, the M5 terms: people, material, and all the people, I mean the manpower. Okay, so people, material, management, manpower, money, and machine. These 5 terms basically will be using as being a good construction project manager. Okay, and next point is prepare organization chart and personal loading curves. Before starting any activity at site, or before starting the manage of any activity at site, we need to have a good we need to prepare an organization chart of the requirement of people. Okay, we will see further as well. We will see in next slide what are these organization chart and how a project engineer need to prepare or a manager need to be prepared. Okay, and then loading these people, I mean loading curve means allocating the task to the engineer or to the manager or to the department. Okay, that should be how that a engineer should manage or that a manager should manage, that we learn in this course. What are the key position? I mean every key position shall be described, that a manager should require this position of a person. Suppose I am the manager and I need a junior engineer at the site in order to complete a activity. Like if I need to complete an activity like culvert, if I have to complete, or any structure that I need to complete, and I need a junior engineer. So basically I will describe it to that key position to the manager or to the management in order to require that particular person. Quality, field engineering, material, and construction. We will see a good project engineer should maintain the quality at the site. He should have a good field engineering knowledge, materials knowledge. Material consists of strength of material, quality of the material, size of the material. Okay, and the company from which material is bought. That kind of a knowledge a good project engineer should have. Time measured by construction project schedule. We will see how project engineer should measure an construction project activity, or total project should time frame of a total project should be maintained by a project engineer by consisting of several activity and making a proper scheduling. Same part, that is physical part, but and the same other part will be planned, that is money part, having the same resources allocation with the money, that is preparation of budget and cash flow. Measuring physical progress and productivity. We will also see how a project engineer should manage this physical and progress and the productivity. Productivity basically, physical activity I have described it to you. Productivity basically consists of the output of any kind of resources that might be of manpower or material or machinery. Okay, so this activity should be measured in a proper way in order to execute project at site, because if productivity is less of any material or if any machine or manpower, that might lead an activity delay and might create a critical activity. That part need to be managed. Project reporting shall be taken on each and every basis, daily basis. There are several patterns that need to be submitted by the engineer at the site on the daily basis to the manager. I will describe you those formats as well that is being used in the construction industry. Okay, what are the format that need to be prepared and how this format should be filled, to the engineer if you are fresher and you have joined the site, for example. Okay, so what are the format that you will get in the initially if you are doing, if you're going in the field of construction project management? Construction project management is not basically a one part of a job. There are vast variety of job. I will describe it to you later. Okay. So if you're going any of that field, you should have a project reporting. You should have a knowledge of preparation of format and submit to your manager or to the required, to your authorized person. I will describe you those reported as well. How in a practical way construction industry used. Okay. So for a construction project management, there are several departments that is required in order to execute any kind of a project. Previously, what we have discussed for construction manager. See critically here, that part, that several department parts shall be controlled by construction manager, but here the department works and the civil reporting part shall be done by construction project manager. Okay, so construction project management consists of these several departments that need to be monitored on the daily basis. That part will be detailed explained to you. First is the planning and scheduling. Planning basically consists of any activity that is being planned on the basis of their duration. Okay, that which activity shall be done at the site, and scheduling means arranging those activity. For example, there is one activity and two activity and three activity, but in that activity one and two will be done. So that part is planning, that this and this activity will be doing and will be done at the site. And scheduling, suppose first activity will be doing the first and second will be doing after the first activity. That part is consist of scheduling. We will see in detail those parts as well. We will see a project construction project management having a knowledge of a WBS. WBS basically considered as a work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure means if there is any kind of a work, breaking it to in a bit pieces, and each activity is showing the detail of each activity is known as WBS. Suppose work is culvert, we need to make a culvert and we need to make a WBS of culvert. Then what part we need to consider? We need to consider foundation, wall, top slab, okay, the pitching. So this part is known as WBS of culvert. Construction project management also should have in-depth knowledge of budgeting. Budgeting part is basically in detail if we see. So what is basically budgeting? Budgeting basically allocation of a fund to particular project and controlling, budgeting and controlling of budget also, and controlling that part using the proper budgeted schedule. We need to be manage the site. Okay, so I'm saying, trying to say is here. Suppose if there is any project of 100 rupees, okay. Suppose there is any project of 100 rupees, and my client is saying to me that that project need to be executed in 90 rupees. Okay, so the allocated budget for that particular project is 90 rupees. So I have to divide these 90 rupees in several activities in order to execute my project within the optimized cost, that is 90 rupees. So that 90 rupees is in itself a budget part which requires several activity. So being a good planner, being a good manager, and being a good engineer, I should have detailed knowledge about this activity, that is budget part. Okay, strip chart I will describe you as we go along to check the physical progress. If we execute any site, any project at the site, if a construction project manager executing any project at site, he should have a step chart in order to check the productivity or check the output on the daily basis. Resource allocation deals with the uh, plant machinery part that has been added at the site. Okay, and simultaneously he should have managed the execution, road works, structure works, and miscellaneous works. So basically, these road works, structure works is not only defined for the construction management part, but road works and structure works that I am trying to say here. If there is any kind of a project that need to be done at the site, so that execution shall be done. It may be of the road, it may be of the railway, it may be of the power plant, it may be of energy sector, oil refinery, any sector it may be introduced. Okay. Also, construction project management should have a knowledge of this part, that is monitoring, checking of the site, executing it on time, optimization of the cost, checking of the time that project is not delaying, and completion of the project within given milestone. Quality shall be maintained. There should be no compromise with the quality. If there is any particular face grade that has been given to the contractor, that same grade shall be maintained at the site during execution. DPR basically the reporting part in order to monitor the project, that is daily progress report. Daily progress report. Okay. And MPR, that is monthly progress report. Okay. And PNL statement. This part is also a separate lecture in itself. But a good construction project management should have knowledge of profit and loss statement, that if it in order to check the project is not going to the loss. Okay. Billing and contractor part I have described it to you earlier. That part also come under construction project management. Okay, so all these whole points should have knowledge of a construction project manager, and simultaneously, parallelly, she should have managed all this activity at site. So this part also, this each and every topic I will describe it to you with separate lecture, not only theoretical but also practical aspects point of view. As I am saying earlier, that I will describe it to you this organization chart from the application point of view. I will describe it to application part. Here is the application. Here is the organization chart that a project manager should maintain or should manage. Suppose if there is any particular project I need to be managed, so I need to have a several departments, and in several departments there need to be several head, and under those heads there need to be several grade of people that need to be managed. Okay, so the departments come under project manager is planning, billing and contracts and MIS, quality assurance and quality control, procurement department, inventory department, accounts, okay, HSC department, P&A security and IST department, P&D including electrical department. Okay, so this, if you see this organization chart critically, there are several level of people that required. So what a project manager need to check? Project manager need to check each and every department, the requirement of the people. How much requirement of the people? Suppose in planning we need 2 managers, 1 deputy manager, 5 quality engineer, so 2 draftsmen. So that order need to be checked by a project manager in order to maintain all the activity and execution of all these activity in a proper way without dealing or without hampering any project activities. Okay, so you can later you can check all this graph and this organization chart and understand in a better way. So we will, if we need to check the practical aspects point of view and we need to manage a site, what we need to do, we need to maintain a physical and financial progress chart at site parallelly. Why I'm saying parallelly? Because if your financial part is more but physical part is less, I mean site execution had done less part but you have expended so much money, so that might lead financial losses. But suppose your financial part is very less but execution part has done more, that might also need you, that is not a good thing, but that might be you are in debt that you haven't paid some amount, that need to be checked as well by a construction project manager. Okay, so tracking of these activity in a construction project industry, there is a term named as S curve that is used. Okay, so this, what is this S curve? S curve basically is to check physical and financial progress at site while construction is going on. So I will describe it to you in too much depth. There is no need to worry. I will describe you how this chart is being prepared and how this S shape is coming. Okay, but first we need to see here critically why this graph is like belly curve. Because this is basically the graph of the resources on the monthly basis. Okay, and this S part that is showing, that is the cumulative financial progress of the site. Okay, so basically this, why we are resource, if you are starting any project, we cannot need all 100% resources in a single day. As projects goes along, we need to have a more and more resources, but as projects ends, we need to deploy some kind of a resources. Okay, we need to deploy because if suppose this is the last day, today is the last day project shall be end, and if I have 100 labor that day only and we require 5 labor, so 90 I have to pay for 95 labors extra. So what I need to do, I need to proper plan previously in order to deploy these 95 labors. Okay, so that graph is showing those resource allocation part. Okay, and this S curve is showing the monthly billing part. This resource part consists of several items. Okay, several items which I have described it to you. You can take any terms example and relate it to over here. Even the money part as well, we need too much money while project is as a peak time at the mid, but as project is going to finish, we need less and less money because already we have achieved or already we have deployed some kind of a required resources. Okay, and this S curve is basically the cumulative financial progress part. As projects is going on, financial progress is used to increase. So that increase in a such a way that it should make S type. It should make in a S type. It should not be too much straight because each and every month billing is not possible having the same linear variation. Okay, so this part I will describe you with practical example. Having the allocate by allocating the resources. Okay, so if you see any in civil industry, any aspect is impossible without having the site knowledge. Okay, so if you see this, why I'm adding this photo so that you can relate some execution part of the site. This photos by I have clicked by myself, one of the my project that I have previously done in the Punjab state. Okay, this is the grader grading the earthwork. Okay, some kind of a 6-lane, 2-lane road is going on. Okay, 2-lane construction is widening to the 4-lane work is going on. Any guesses what this is work? This work is basically the PCC that is being used below the foundation. Okay, currently we use M15 grade below the foundation as per IRC 78 clauses. Okay, and this part is survey is going on at the site. Further, if you see that execution, that road part, a water tanker is spraying the water in order to compact the proper way to the earth. Here if you see this is a box structure construction is going on at the site. This part is the wall. Okay. This is the earth facing. This is the non-earth facing. This wall construction is going on at the site. And this labor again is doing the PCC work. So if as we see from the construction point of view, these activities are all are very important. I will describe you each and every activity from infrastructure projects point of view. What are the activities that is being executed? This is again the wall work is going on. The box structure construction is going on. Okay, so this is one type of a wall that is being executed at the site. So basically, the point which I have discussed previously, these all several points, in order to check, monitor, complete, and maintain this activity, we need a several tool. Okay. So what are the tools that is being used? The tools that is being used is basically the bar chart and Gantt chart we use. Second one is the milestone chart that we use, and third one is the network analysis. Bar chart basically a bit old method. Okay. Milestone is also somehow industry used, but it is not it is not as used right now in industries. Network analysis basically is the latest topic that is being used. This analysis latest is used. Okay, that consists two parts. First one is the PERT, second one is the CPM. I will describe you brief over here. Okay, then in further webinar I will describe you explain way each and every part. Okay. Bar chart, yeah, Gantt chart, it is basically prepared by the Henry Gantt. Advantage of this chart is basically it is easy, it is cheap, we can have a good visualization, and it takes basically less time. What is basically bar chart? Bar chart basically presentation of any activity. Suppose there are 5 activity aside that need to be done. Okay, so what we need to do? We need to create first activity and shows the duration. Second activity show the duration, and third activity shows the duration, fourth activity shows the duration, and fifth activity. Like this way, it shows the all the duration. But it is not any organized way. So this is a bit old method. It is not being used currently in any industry. So it has some disadvantages as well. Monitoring of cost and time, it is difficult. We cannot track time. On schedule or lag is difficult. We cannot check the project is in on schedule or it is lagging somehow, it is delaying or not. No activity interrelationship. Both activity, if we see, it is not dependent to each other. So we cannot reflect other activity by changing the duration or resources of previous activity. Time uncertainty, there is no time of completion. Tracking of critical activity is difficult. We cannot monitor which activity is critical that need to be monitored at site. Cost optimization is also very difficult. We cannot check for each and every activity what are the cost or financial aspects. Second method is the milestone chart, second tool that we use. Okay, so in this technique, milestone chart, it is basically a slight improvement of bar chart. Okay, they show milestone along with each activity bars. Basically this activity also show, suppose one activity is there, second activity is there, third activity is there, and these activity shall be total completed within 15 days. So what is there? There is a milestone chart that after, if suppose 5 days milestone chart is there. So first activity takes 2 days, second activity take 5 days. But this activity, second activity start the first day after starting of first activity. So and the milestone is in 5 days. So we can check what is the activity shall be going on during milestone period and what activity shall be completed during milestone. Okay, monitoring is easy. We can check the linking of each and every activity. Cost control can be done at any level because activities are shown parallel to each other. We can check the cost optimization point of view. Only limitation is activity interrelationship. In this also part, there is a limitation. These activities are not dependent to each other. Okay, so project management and network technique is also very important. The third aspect that I have been discussing, this network analysis. This is the latest method that is being used in construction industry, which consists two parts, that is CPM and PERT. We will see in detail about CPM and PERT, but here we will understand the network analysis. Network analysis basically the latest, it has all the benefits. Okay, it's like finally eating the red velvet cake. Okay, all the techniques it has all the benefit. You can check all this activity relationship. There is no uncertainty. You can possibly monitor each and activity in a best possible way if you are executing and monitoring projects using these techniques. Controlling can be done because you are managing financial and physical part by allocating proper resources, and rescheduling part also has been done. Okay, suppose if I'm changing the duration of one activity, the whole project's duration will be adjusted simultaneously because each and every activity are connected sequentially to each other. Okay, so this is very refined way method that has been introduced. Okay, so representation, if you see, there is an activity with an arrow and there are events with some circle or rectangle that is represented. Okay, so milestone or event will be represented in a circle and activity will be represented with an arrow. So what is the activity? If anyone asks you what is activity, so activity basically is tools that need some kind of a resources. Suppose I need to create a culvert, it required 5 days. So 5 days is basically the activity in which you require resources of manpower, money, material, machinery, etc. Further, we will see some practical example of planning and scheduling of construction industry. Okay, so this is the graph I have created in order to understand the network technique. First, suppose A1 there is an activity, A2 there is an activity, and A3 there is an activity third. So these activity are connect to each other in series way, and suppose each activity requires some kind of a resources. Resources consist of some time, manpower, plant equipment, and financial cost, that is money. So this way we do the scheduling using network analysis by showing the interdependency of each and every activity. This is a practical example that I need to show you. Okay, so suppose I have started some kind of a project. So what I need to do, plan using this network analysis, I need to start a project. From starting of a project, we need to allocate some allotment time. Then we need to set the milestone. Later we need to define pre-construction and post-construction activities at site. Okay, what are the aspects? You can see clearly there are several type of activities. What are these? These are basically the activities that need to be done at the site. I have taken one example, and this activity requires several type of duration, having starting time and finishing time with the dependency of each other. Okay, so this type of network chart we used to prepare in a construction industry in order to monitor and in order to check the progress of the site. This is very important tool. We need to understand it. Okay, these are basically planned in a software. I will describe it to you later on. Okay, so basically what we need to do, we need to finalize using this technique that how much duration our project is going to take. Suppose this example, my project is going to be of 645 days starting from 5/12/2017. Okay, which has been done now. So this part we need to see, and with this basically image is not consist of one result. We can extract several reports like monthly, quarterly, weekly, daily basis of our resources and our progress. Okay, so I have explained you all these points, and let's now understand what are these aspects and how much these aspects are important from a career point of view. Okay, so if you see construction management, basically it helps to complete the desired task within a given time span. Okay, it helps to properly utilize available limited resources. Okay, as I've explained you those points previously. It also helps to reduce wastage of material and labor by making available right type of material and labor. Okay, so it is very important aspects that is being used in a construction industry. You should have a good practical knowledge of, and you should have a good experience of site in order to be a good project manager. So let's see further. Construction planning and project management is now essential for a civil engineer because it involves all the activity from starting to post finish stage of project. You need to do a proper planning even before starting a project. Your project has not started yet. You have not received your project from your planning, even though you need to do a proper planning. So you should have a good knowledge of project management. Okay. Knowledge about managing and qualified team. You would have several departments, several teams, and several people reporting under you. You need to manage all those people and report to your head as well. That part simultaneously shall be managed by you. Will be understand using this course. Okay. Experience about execution of a project in less time and at an optimum cost. So you will see, I will give you a brief knowledge and you will get some experience about execution of a project, not actual practical way, but yes, through virtual way also. I will try to explain you as much as possible how you can reduce project cost in less time. Okay. Overall site project knowledge from core technical to site execution. This part is very important. Currently, several colleges also are there which has introduced this construction planning and project management course. Nikmar College is there, which is very specialized in construction planning and project management. Okay, but I have seen several BTech colleges only deals with planning and scheduling. They have construction planning and project management subject, but basically they deals with planning and scheduling part. Here I will deal you with all this part. Okay, so from the construction management point of view, there are several job openings that are open. You can see in these areas the job opportunities, that is planning engineer, quality engineer, assistant project engineer, assistant project manager, project manager, bidding head, tendering head, budgeting head, billing head. These are several departments that you can seek job opportunities. There is no particular department where you can set yourself. There are lot of varieties. So if you see these are the part. Okay, these are the several part which you can see your scope of work. The position require people who can full responsibility for the field operation associated with the order and assign the project. Okay, they are responsible to the company to manage the project director for the effective and safe execution. Okay, so the person should manage all the aspects of construction execution and according to the contract. These are the key areas. Basically, the field engineering, field procurement, construction activities, facility startup, project closeout. These are the major part where you can expertise yourself. Okay, and the other important areas are contractual and financial consideration, personal safety matters, and client public relations. These are basically the key part which I have described to you, CPM and third part. Okay. Software that we might need using this course, I will describe you later on, the Primavera and the MS project. Okay. These two software are very important and the essence. I will describe the photo which I have showed you earlier was made on MS project. So these two software I will explain you if further will be required. Okay. At completion of this project, your career goal should be making profit, finish project on time, build within budget, furnish quality as per contract, finish the job safely, and get repeat business. Okay, maintains company reputation and reduce selling expenses.